Welcome back to the Beijing 2022 Paralympic Winter Games. The National Aquatic Centre is the host of the wheelchair curling. Previously, the Water Cube, having hosted the pool-based events in Beijing 2008, the venue has been repurposed for curling and has been nicknamed the Ice Cube. Our featured game is Canada versus Sweden, two of the medal favourites here in action. Canada have medalled on every single wheelchair curling event since it was introduced in 2006, including 3 gold medals. Undefeated so far as well, coming in on great form. Sweden coming into the event as the reigning world silver medalists. Won here in the Ice Cube back in October. We've got all of the ingredients required for a top-notch wheelchair curling match between two powerhouse curling nations. That's the Paralympic mascot, Shui Ron. Always full of life, full of energy. Clearly excited for another fantastic game between two amazing teams. So let's meet them. This is the Swedish lead player, Kristina Kiki Ulander, one of the Swedish curling, Swedish flag bearers at the opening ceremony. Mats Ulla Engborg, the second player. Ronnie Persson, the rock star of the team. And of course, the skip and fourth player, Viljo Pettersson-Dahl. And for the Canadians, Mark Idison, playing lead stones, but playing skip as well. Second player, Dennis Thiessen.
Versus Norway.
The third, a real curling legend, Ina Forrest. And the newest member of the team, the fourth player, John Thurston.
Games will begin shortly.
Nice crowd forming here in the Ice Cube. Players will just make their final preparations, handshakes, and we'll get this game underway very, very shortly. This is how they stack up at this stage of the round robin. Canada, the only undefeated team left, 4 wins and no losses. Sweden, 2 wins and 1 loss, coming in off the back of a surprise loss to Latvia. They'll be looking to bounce back here to keep on Canada's coattails. 7-9 they lost there, but 2 emphatic wins to start, including a win over the reigning Paralympic champions, People's Republic of China, the hosts.
Yes.
Viljo Pettersson-Dahl there, the other flag bearer for the Swedes.
Will begin in 1 minute. Wheels may be cool. Good luck and good curling.
And this is the Canadians' track record so far. Nobody really pushing them close. Some of those scorelines actually quite flattering in favour of the team who lost. Really looking good, this Canadian side. They had won every single gold medal at the Paralympic Winter Games in wheelchair curling until 4 years ago. They picked up the bronze there. Mark Idison was the skip, moving down to play lead stones on this occasion, with the introduction of John Thurston coming in to play the fourth stone. Marie Wright was the lead on that occasion. You may be wondering why the Canadians skip is playing lead stones. Traditionally, they would throw the last stones, like we'll see from Viljo Pettersson-Dahl, but it's not a necessity. Players will set their, or the coaching staff probably, will set their teams up in the way that they feel that they'll get the best performances out of the players on the ice. Kristina Ulander gets the action underway here. Sweden will be playing the red stones and wearing the navy blue tops. And Canada playing the yellow stones and wearing the white tops. For the games, there's a couple of draw shots at the end of the pre-game practice, the warm-up. And that determines who has the last stone in the first end. And it was Canada who came out on top on that occasion, so they will have the last stone in the first end. A couple of super draws, actually. Only 78%, only 78 centimeters for the Canadians. So here is Mark Idison playing his second Paralympic Winter Games, looking to add to that bronze medal from 4 years ago. Choosing to draw to the wing. We've seen a few nations employing this tactic early on in the games.
12-4 där.
Ja.
Ganska långt bak där va?
It's nicely done by Mark Harrison. Draws one out to the wing. And Sweden immediately calling the takeout. Kristina Ölander, one of the most experienced players in the field.
Det är bra.
A real legend of the game.
Kändes bra.
Ja. Åtta.
Well, nicely done, makes the takeout.
Han gjorde jobbet. Det är bra. Bra fart. Yeah, I think so. This rock's a little quicker. I think 12.75.
I think we'll see the same again here from Canada. I think we just heard Mark Harrison talking about the stone just being a little bit quicker than his other ones. Maybe something that he picked up in practice, or maybe something that the alternate and the coaching staff picked up in the night practice the night before. Something that he'll have to manage as the game goes along. And it just happens because the stones are made of granite, which is a natural material. It's very difficult to get them absolutely geologically perfect.
Niklas, sträck ut din.
And the same every time. So they can tend to run a little bit faster, a little bit slower, curl more, curl less. And that's just something the teams have to manage to get the most out of the stones that they're given.
Något där. Okej.
Niklas,
fin fart Moe.
bra Moe, fin
Mats Ulla
steg.
Engborg makes the takeout and hits and rolls back towards the center.
2,5, så det är bra Moe.
Right on the nose. Yeah, it does. Not the broom over.
Dennis Thiessen throwing second stones for Canada. The veteran first represented Canada
Really
back
nice
in 2013 at the World Championships in Sochi in Russia. Test event for the 2014 Olympics. Won the gold in 2014 and the bronze in 2018. One of the few left-handers in the field. Mats Ulla Engborg, one of the oldest players in the field, 64 years old. Has a daughter called Emma and a son called Tobias. Plays out of the Jönköping Curling Club, the host of the World Junior Championships in May.
Ett varv. Kom igen.
Started playing the sport back in 2013.
Stanna då.
First appeared for Sweden at the Paralympic Games in
You get the guard,
2018.
that's fine. Should curl a little more here. Got it, Dennis. Not the broom over.
So you see that left-handed technique starting with the chair on the right-hand side of the center line. The stone has to be played from between the delivery lines, the outside of these three lines that we're seeing in screen now. 18 inches apart, those lines.
Niklas.
Vet vad som gäller.
Oh, nicely done. We've seen a good level of accuracy here early in the first end. Mark Idison after the win earlier on day 3, saying that he and his team were really getting to grips with the playing conditions here in the ice cube. Really starting to enjoy themselves, really working on the communication between them. Ronnie Persson hits and rolls.
Yeah.
9?
Yeah, 9. 875.
Ina Forrest, also a left-hander. Where to begin with her incredible career so far. First represented Canada back in 2007 when wheelchair curling was really in its infancy. Started in Switzerland in the late 90s. The first World Wheelchair Curling Championship was in 2002 in Surrey in Switzerland, and the first time it was at the Paralympics was 06. Ina Forrest getting involved not long after that.
What was 4? 8-4? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Ina started curling 2004, age 42, at the Vernon Curling Club in British Columbia.
Come here.
So lots of great personalities in wheelchair curling and in this game, but maybe none more so than Ronnie Persson. 55 years old, and actually initially didn't really think that he was a curling guy. Found it a bit slow. He was actually an alpine skier previously. Winning 3 silver medals and 2 bronze medals in the 1998 and 2002 games. Soon succumbed to the call of the curling crowd. Has very much enjoyed it ever since. Started playing in 2012.
Nice pause and throw line. Good throw line. Great toss. Good throw.
So that super shot there by Ronnie Persson forces Canada to peel the centre guard off to open up the shot stone. Really good standard here in the first end.
Tänker 15 då, eller?
I talked about various orders that the players organize themselves and the roles that they take. So Kiki Olander, the vice skip, but playing lead stones.
Bra!
So Viljo Pettersson Dahl, this is his second Paralympic Games, also out of the Jönköping Curling Club. Used to play football for Halby and Lömerud in Sweden.
Bra, Viljo.
It's a good guard there, but maybe a little bit long, and Canada might fancy the chances of moving the stone in the button here.
Yeah, 9 will be good.
So you might just see the origin of the stone just starting on the right-hand side of the line here. John Thurston maximizing that delivery area to get a better angle to come around that centre guard. John Thurston saying that he really made the most of the time that the world got locked down during COVID to work on his physical conditioning. Dropped about 10 pounds while maintaining his muscle mass. That's really helped his curling game. Extra stability, extra power, extra accuracy.
Bra där.
So a couple of options here for Sweden. They could throw a guard, or they could throw anywhere into the house really to lie to. Maybe they'll do a bit of both. Maybe something in the front of the house on the center line would be the perfect spot here for Viljo Pettersson-Dahl. Is it going to make it all the way down there? Not quite, but gets a good line and at least covers that stone on the button, partially.
Want to just peel it? Sure. Just pick it. Oh, wait. 8.5. 8. Thought Ina was nice and positive in this spot. Yeah. It curled up. Yeah.
A chance to blank here for Canada. They'll just need to be a little bit careful of the stone in the back line. Don't want to jam the Swedish stone onto it. Give up a steal. Final stone of the first end, John Thurston sending down the heater.
Not there though.
Lots of rotation on the stone. Is this one going to come back? It is not. It glides right on by. Perhaps that stone at the back of the house just playing in the back of his mind.
Yeah, I mean, you threw 8.5.
Very uncharacteristic miss there from John Thurston.
Maybe you're a rock girl more than
but not too much damage done. It's only the first end. But Sweden off to a great start there. Real confidence boost for them. Sweden 1, Canada 0. Steal of 1 in the first end for Sweden, and by a steal I mean scoring 1 when you don't have the last stone. Typically you would expect the team with the last stone to be able to score, and our main part of the strategy is trying to score 2 when you've got 2 or more, when you've got the last stone advantage. And while you don't have the last stone, you're obviously trying to stop the opposition from doing that. There's various means and ways of achieving that, which I'll pick up as we go along here. And if you're new to curling, the aim of the game is to get your stones closer to the middle of the house than the opposition's, but not until the end of the end. So both teams have 8 stones each for every single end. 4 players throwing 2 stones each, alternately with the opposition. Once they've all come to the rest, it's about who's closest to the middle and how many are closer than the opposition's nearest one. So centre guard goes up from Kristina Ölander. Sweden continuing to play aggressively.
Yeah, 12.75.
Finding this almost confusing that it wouldn't be Sweden throwing the yellow stones and Canada throwing the red ones. So Mark Idison, again, very similar setup as the first end. Just sneaks by the guard and draws out to the wing. The wing being the side of the sheet. And I talked about tactics just a few minutes ago, and that's very typical of the team with the last stone, that would want to play out to the sides, keep the centre open, whereas the team without the last stone will want to try and play in the middle of the sheet and try and block things up. So Kiki Ölander. Really nicely done, excellent takeout. Here's the coaching bench there. Alison Krevizuk on the left-hand side. Silver and bronze medalist from the 2013 and 2014 World Championships for Canada, playing out of Ontario with the Rachel Holman rink. Idison matching that takeout from Kiki Olander and making a super rollover behind the centre guard. Great shot there. Here's Mickey Lismore on the right-hand side. Long-term coach and actually coached this team to silver medal at the World Championship in 2020 in Wet'suwet'en. Also used to play for Brendan Botcher in Alberta for a number of years. Brendan representing Team Canada at the Briar this week. The Briar being the Canadian Men's Curling Championships. Matsela Engborg sneaks past the guard and makes a terrific takeout at speed. Flawless stuff so far from both teams, bar that last stone of the first end. Really good play. Left-hander trying to follow that shot just played by Matsula Engborg. Manages to chip it out of there.
A little wide.
Sweden just looking a little more accurate than the Canadians earlier in the game here.
Jag kollar lite på den.
So we've seen and heard this a few times from Sweden so far in this event. The skip at the other end of the ice just helping to line up the thrower. So if they're a little bit inside or a little bit wide, just getting everything set up perfectly to deliver the stone online.
12-6. Bra linje, Moe.
So just travels a little bit too far, Engborg there. Maybe Canada will take this opportunity to try and take the initiative.
Could get one in and then peel.
Okay.
Just limited our scoring area if we go in now.
Well, interesting tactics from the Canadians. You would have thought they'd be coming in here with oodles of confidence. 4 wins to their name. But quite a defensive call here from the Canadians, and they're going to peel the centre guard. Not necessarily the wrong call, but they definitely have the opportunity to take the end by the scruff of the neck and throw a draw. Nice peel from Dennis Thiessen.
Well, they just don't look like they're coming back, so
I
then
know.
you can't.
You can't be really.
I feel like saying, oh, I can get to that.
Bra där. Bra. Bra satt.
So Ronnie Persson throwing the guard again.
14. Det är bra, Ronny.
Bra, Ronny!
So Ronnie Persson
Right here, I just hit and roll. Mike,
said
come on. 8.5.
some years ago, I was lost, I didn't know what to do, I didn't have anything to do. His colleagues were saying, come and try curling. I said, thank you, but no thank you. I'm a downhiller, I can't go curling. And I thought, well, maybe this is what's missing in my life, sport. So curling saved me a little bit. It could I could focus on something fun again. I recognized the feeling of competition and I loved it.
Good to good.
So very much searching for that first Paralympic curling medal. Highly decorated skier.
Mine, that one just got.
Certainly got a great chance this week. Coming in as the world silver medalists from October here in the Ice Cube.
Pretty well, like up to the long line there, I thought like if you had it for sure that, and then all of a sudden it just came in like it was.
That one curls.
So Ina Forrest a little unlucky there with the run back. Stuffed it onto the back one and left the centre guard as well. So now a great chance here for Sweden. They can draw another one around.
Kändes okej.
Ja, jag tycker det.
Lite tunn.
14-2.
Ronnie Persson looking a little short speed here.
Japp, bra marginal.
Just a little bit short of weight. Could have done with an extra 2 meters of running on that one.
Gör det.
13 and a quarter.
So Ina Forrest looking to make amends from that previous one. Wasn't far away. Has put Canada in a slightly sticky position. Choosing to come around the centre on this anti-clockwise rotation. Clockwise rotation even.
11-5.
11-5.
Well, well, well. Well, they heard the split time passed to Ina Forrest, 11.5 seconds between the hog lines. She couldn't quite believe it, but given where the stone ends up, makes sense. Generally, we're looking for about 13.5 seconds to reach to the T line. That's what we've seen so far in this event. The ice conditions maybe not quite as quick as you would see in the Olympic format of curling. Don't have the sweepers there to
Lite inne. Bra.
wear the pebble down on the ice and slicking it up. So Viljo Pettersson-Dahl, can he punish Ina Forrest for those 2 mistakes? He's got a lovely couple of centre guards in the centre of the sheet here to come around, and if he can get this right down there, they could be in great shape. Well, just sneaks in the front door, good enough to lie to.
Ja, alltid skönt när en biter.
Ja, exakt.
Yeah, 13-2. That was your draw.
Yeah.
I think the speed's the same.
13, yeah.
13-2.
Yeah.
So here is John Thurston. Coming down the other side after that draw from Viljo Pettersson-Dahl. Maybe a bit of guesswork here. We've not seen that many stones down this side of the sheet. Looks like he's made a good effort though. Oh, just sneaks by the guard. What a beautiful shot there by John Thurston. That's really turned this end on its head.
Good boy, Johnny. What was the weight on that? 13.
Ja, 13-2 hade jag på den. Vill du dra här eller? Där.
Nej, ta den. Bra.
Det är lite mer spännande.
Ja, det är det.
Vad sa du?
So what now for Sweden?
Ja.
That really is in the perfect spot, that stone there by John Thurston, keeping it north of the tee line. So Sweden can't rest against it.
Ja.
Perhaps they need to draw around it with this one. Tough shot here for Pettersson Dahl.
13-5.
Ja.
Ligger ute lite. Bra. Sätter det bra.
So how's this one looking here from Pettersson Dahl? Looks like it's curling early.
13-5.
Needs to get past that front guard. Well, doesn't quite.
Linjen är bra. Jag hade bubblat.
So it looks like Canada are going to score one. Can they get a second one in there to lie two? They'll need to be at least
1275.
half in that white 8-foot circle.
Taking a wider path.
So going out a bit wider on the sheet. Heard them asking for 12.75 seconds. That's the time between the hog lines. So maybe the ice is just a little bit slower this evening.
Pretty positive.
Lots of rotation here, this final stone of the second end. Just needs to be in the white bit to score two. Oh, it's just going to hang out there. If that curled a little bit more, perhaps that would have stayed in for two. Good effort all the same, but it's only one for Canada here in the second end. Terrific first stone there from John Thurston, but couldn't quite match it with a second. And after two ends, it's a tied game here. Sweden won, Canada won. Now look at the stats from Sweden, 83%. That's incredible stuff. You know, that's great shooting in an Olympic curling event, never mind a wheelchair curling event. Always expect the stats to be a little bit lower in wheelchair curling due to the lack of sweeping. 83% is super stuff. Standard of play every bit as good as we expected here from the two medal favourites. I think we're going to see this one go all the way to the wire. Mark Idison getting us underway here in the third end. Just a little bit of debris on the ice there that Pettersson Dahl wanting to get rid of.
Bra Kiki, Tage!
Du vet att mina är lite plus.
Är vi där eller?
Ja, kör där då.
So I think we're going to see a takeout here from Sweden.
Tage.
Kom igen.
Kiki Olander with that side delivery, the stone splitting the center line.
Kändes bra.
Ja, håller med.
Looks like she's got an excellent line on this one. Just trying to knock that Canadian stone out. And catches just enough to squeeze it out into that dead zone at the back of the house there. Call it the dead zone because it's not really in play. Can't be promoted or frozen against Druley.
Yeah, I think with this rock, a little quicker.
Mark Idison's ritual before he plays is to hide a lucky Canadian $1 coin somewhere near the ice surface. So if you are in the National Aquatic Centre, and maybe that's a bit of a treasure hunt for you. They're going for the ice crew.
Come here. Bra.
Kändes okej, kanske lite tight.
Jag håller med, den är lite där.
A little bit inside the line here from Kiki Olander, but hits it absolutely plumb on the nose. Super shot by Kristina Olander.
You've thrown down here, right? Have you thrown this back?
You got it, Dennis.
I mean, Kristina Olander, every bit as experienced as Aina Forrest, started curling in 2006 in Härnösand. Just because she wanted to try something new. So defensive end from both teams here. I think this is probably quite likely because of the respect between the two teams. They clearly know that they're both favourites, and they're kind of just cancelling each other at the moment here, out at the moment. Here's Mats Ulla Engborg throwing the out turn here, nicknamed Moa.
Kändes bra, Moe. Ja.
Bra, Moe. Kommer fint.
Well, the team like it.
8-8, bra fart.
Bra, Moe.
Well, maybe that stone outside the house has come into play after all, because it's gotten away and Sweden haven't been able to remove it from the house. That one's still counting that yellow stone, although it is in second shot position.
Same throw.
So it'll be Dennis Thiessen to play a takeout this time at the back of the house. He's going to need to hit it pretty close to the nose to stick around. Not much room to work with at all right at the back of the rings.
Throw, Dennis.
Shot.
Well, just hits off the nose and rolls too far, so Canada only lying one after that. You need to be in the house to be in a scoring position.
Vi har ju drag ner annars.
Ja.
Ja, väl. Vi börjar så här.
Ja.
Niklas. Bra. Ja, men då får vi den dit. Det är perfekt.
Pat in the shoulder there from Ronnie Persson. That's something that this team's really worked on over the last 4 years. They were a pretty new team going into the 2018 Paralympic Games. And since then, really worked on the mental side and supporting each other, and you'll see lots of physical contact between the team. Really trying to fill their emotional tanks, make them feel good, so that they can execute as many shots as possible.
In half, nose.
Ja, men när det har så mycket grund så är det svårt att reglera.
Aina Forrest, one of the most successful wheelchair curlers ever, one of the most successful curlers ever, competing at 12 straight wheelchair curling world championships. She's medaled at every Paralympic Winter Games she's been at, winning gold in 2010 and 2014 and bronze in 2018. She was inducted to the Canadian Curling Hall of Fame in February 2016.
Kom igen. Det är din.
Det är din Rantan.
Bra.
This is LSD right here, right? Yeah. More? All right, you got it, buddy. 13?
Bra då nu.
Here we go.
I think it hit, yeah.
Ja, det känns bra.
Last one was a 14.
12-7.
Got it.
Bra då nu.
Bra Ronny, fin sten.
So nice draw to the wing. There will be an additional wheelchair curling event at the 2026 edition, the 14th Paralympic Winter Games, coming in 4 years' time from Milano Cortina. There will be a new event there within the curling arena, and that's going to be mixed doubles. So only 2 players in those teams. Slightly different format to what we are seeing here, the more traditional styled wheelchair curling, but something that's been very successful since its introduction to the Olympics in 2018 and 2022. We very much look forward to seeing that in Milano Cortina 2026. So Peter Sundal holding the brush there. That's the target for Ronnie Persson here. It's not going to where the stone's going to finish. It's the line that the stone needs to set off on. And then the handle, the rotation on the stone will take effect and curl it off towards where they want it to finish. The harder you throw the stone, the less it will curl. Ronnie Persson throwing this one pretty hard. It's cutting across the ice hard though, but hits it perfectly on the nose. Great accuracy there from the Swedish third.
Ja, bra.
Ja, gör det.
Oj, det gick lite hårt. Ja, nej, ingen fara.
Lots in the ice. Fair enough. What are you thinking, 8.5?
Yeah.
So John Thurston said about the 2026 Paralympics in Milano Cortina, that believes it to be a huge and exciting opportunity for wheelchair curling to continue growing, perhaps bring new nations into the Paralympics. And he thinks it's got the potential to bring more athletes and more opportunity. Canada, it's not always easy to find 4 wheelchair curlers in the same area that can curl regularly together. And he hopes it does wonders for the longevity of the sport. He loves it and continues to strive to improve every day. Henson sticks around there.
Va?
Ja.
Den ligger långt bak.
Important for Peter Sundal to maintain his concentration here. It's been a little bit of a nothing end. Not really too much happening. But the last thing you want to do is to slip up
Kom igen, den har du.
and miss a shot here in the closing stages.
Bra! Bra satt, William! 8-9, bra fart också! Snyggt!
Ja.
Very good shot by Peter Sundal. Sticks in the rings as well.
Det är bra. Bra sten. Bra. Right on the nose.
So the same shot really here for John Thurston. You tend to see the wheelchair curlers playing more inside to out on the sheet, as in starting at the center line side and curling it out, whereas in Olympic curling, oh my, Well, that was unexpected. That was unexpected indeed. John Thurston getting that one all wrong.
Yeah, weight was good, yeah.
13, 5.
Very unusual that John Thurston would miss that one. He just had to hit it anywhere really to get it out. He only had to move it a foot, but glides on by. And well, I don't think that Sweden could have anticipated that this was going to happen. Needs to find anywhere in the house to score 2.
Bra.
So here we go, final stone of the third end.
Bra satt.
Sundal after a big takeout with his first one. Needs to dial it back a bit just to throw a gentle draw into the house for 2.
13,
Looking
3.
pretty good, passes the hog
Bra
line.
Vilja. Snyggt.
Excellent draw here by Viljo Pettersson-Dahl down into the house for 2. The most surprising of misses from John Thurston has been punished here in the third end, and without taking any risk, Sweden scoring 2 and opening up a 3-shot-to-1 lead over Canada.
Bra jobbat.
Bra, fin.
So Sweden maintaining that good form and getting a bit of a lucky break there in the third end, but fully capitalizing on it.
Får vi dra nu?
Ja. Nej.
The Swedish side have been able to play a few events throughout the season in preparation for this Paralympic Winter Games here in Beijing.
Ja. Oj.
Competitive opportunities have been few and far between in the world of curling,
Det kändes bra.
particularly in wheelchair curling, where there is already very few events to compete in. So, likes of GB, Sweden, Norway, and Russia have been competing against each other, just in a kind of a European Super League, they call it.
With this rock,
So,
maybe 14.5.
There's been 4 or 5 events this season, and of course the World Championships back in October. Basically what those nations did was they played against each other and kind of rotated around, visiting each other's country to get that competitive experience that they needed.
Great weight.
There was another event in Tallinn in Estonia during the season, but they're not. Estonia weren't really part of that group of teams.
Ja, men det brinner bra.
So Christina Ulander setting up for the clockwise throw.
Kändes bra.
Happy with the line.
Okej. Härlig linje.
13,5 hade jag på den.
13, 14.
Yeah,
Like that?
I like that.
Niklas!
Okej.
Ja, då är mellanrum emellan.
Jag blir så trygg då när jag...
Det är bra.
100.
So a couple of stones kicking about at the front of the house here, but it's been quite a cagey affair so far. Not too many stones in play as we've seen in some of the other games in the event.
Bra!
That kind of just down to the quality of the play. Sometimes when you get
Kändes
the
okej,
players
Moe.
missing a few shots, all of a sudden things start to build up. But that's not really happening in this game so far.
Sätter den bra.
Moe hits and rolls out. And Canada choosing to ignore that red stone now and draw behind the corner guard. Perhaps that two-shot deficit will
Nice marks to go hard.
loosen the Canadians up a little bit.
15.
So Dennis Thiessen setting up for the anti-clockwise draw, trying to put one behind that corner guard on the right-hand side of the sheet as we look at it. So runs straight for quite some time and then kind of hooks at the end, kind of runs like a hockey stick down the ice.
Shot, Dennis.
Conditions not exactly as you would find in a curling club or an ice rink for club
Annars
curling.
är det dra dit!
Annars dragit.
The curl comes a little bit later typically at these international events.
13!
But one thing's for sure, the playing conditions here at the National Aquatic Centre have been outstanding throughout both the Olympics and the Paralympic Games.
Ja, 13.
13.
13 blir bra.
Nej, kom igen nu.
Kom igen Moe, det är din.
Hela vägen. Lugn och fin.
Inne. Inne. Bra.
Fast då vill han ju rotera jättebra.
Satt den okej? Bra fart Moe!
Bra, snyggt.
Snyggt.
Härlig sten!
Moe following that one down to make the freeze. Matsola Engborg, what a draw that is. Such an impressive shot without any sweepers. Make it absolutely dead weight. So, Sweden lying 2, but not out of the woods here. Canada won't be too concerned. And they'll actually be quite happy that the play is all going around the corner guard. Not really too much threat in the middle of the sheet for Dennis Thiessen and the Canadian side. Well, this is a good line as well. Well, 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 look at that. Is it shot position? Tough to say, possibly not. Looks like it might be the Swedish redstone.
Jag gissar på det.
Just below that T-line, the horizontal line running through the house. That is the shot stone.
What's that?
So as things stand, looks like Sweden lying first and third shot, while Canada lying second and fourth. Sweden will just need to be a little bit careful though.
Ja men den här är fin!
13-5. 13-5.
13, 13, 5. 13, 3.
Ja det är nog 13!
Ja, jag tror.
Ja,
Okej.
13.
Kör på 13. Kom igen.
Det är din Ronny.
Din Ronny.
Inne. Bra!
Kändes okej.
Ja då.
He's got a really long, low throw, Ronnie Persson. All comes from the shoulder, very athletic style.
12-9.
Men en bounce på den kan vara
This
bra.
looks pretty
Bra.
good.
Bra Ronny.
Well, that guarantees that Sweden are lying in shot position now. Does look like they're probably lying 2 now.
Just off
was only a tiny mistake from Dennis Thiessen, but it's one that's really changed the end for Canada. It's an end that was going well, but they really needed to be lying shot after Dennis Thiessen's draw around that guard there.
It's the quarter rock.
Want me to get it?
Ina Forrest not quite happy with the position of the stone and just trying to adjust it slightly. Just really focused on Ideson's brush at the other end of the ice. Don't see that same kind of adjustment being made from the skip's end. Skip not really getting involved in the lining up of the players. Well, just needed to hit maybe an inch closer to the center line there. May have been able to play the double takeout. Canada still line two. Sorry, Sweden still line two, and a chance to draw around that Canadian stone if they choose to.
Känns den okej dit?
Jag tror det.
Kör på den.
Annars, ja.
Vi tappar ju egen förra. Och vi vill inte vara på gard om vi...
Nej, men ska vi ta från andra sidan då?
Ja.
Okej.
Eller vad tror du? Ja. Även om du är där, också bra.
Ja.
Trycka på egen.
Ja. Bra.
So decided to play the tap up here. They're going to come down onto that red stone at just that kind of 11 o'clock in the house and just push it up a couple of feet, get a little, maybe a meter, just get a little bit closer to the center of the house.
Tänker du på att tappa egen då, eller?
Ja, egen marginal runt. Där.
Ja, där.
Bra.
Bra.
Kom igen. Ja, där är vi nere på 13 i alla fall. 12,
Men det är nog 12-9 här.
12-5, 13.
12-5,
The only
13.
problem with coming down this
okay.
side is that Sweden are likely only going to lie two. If they played a straight draw, then they'd have a chance to lie three just for some extra insurance. Still, if Sweden make this, maybe a good chance to steal again here in the fourth end. They stole in the first end. Maybe they can steal another one here in four.
Farten, det är 13-5.
The weight a little bit light though from Ronnie Persson. Still guards the shot stone though.
Just off nose high, eh? Okay.
So what Sweden won't be hoping for here is
This one runs straighter.
Ina Forrest drives this back onto the red. It could well spin over towards the other red behind the corner guard. So just watch out for that one.
Enough.
So Ina Forrest right back in her chair for this one. You see her really use her upper body to give it that extra speed. Big drive through with the left hand. So how's this one looking? Just off nose. Great shot. Makes the raise onto the shot stone. But still, potentially that red Swedish stone lying in shot position. Starting to look a little lonely though. She really held her breath on that one, but no need. Worked out well.
Bra, eller?
Ja, du känner dig fördragad?
Ja, vi testar det.
Eller ja, känn vad du vill. Tänker du samma väg som Rontan?
So it looks like Sweden lying in shot position with that red just south of the T line. Canada lying second, third and fourth shot though.
Vi drar den vägen nu. Det är för lite att gömma sig där ute nu.
Ja. Vill du ha på 4 eller?
Ja.
So choosing
Bra!
to come down the right-hand side of the sheet here in the clockwise rotation. Just need to be a little bit careful of setting up a nice angle for a double takeout for John Thurston.
Bra!
Maybe want this one to go past the tee line here.
Bra satt!
So here we go, VPD, Viljo Pettersson-Dahl. Trying to make the draw.
12-9!
Passes the white guard nicely, and the
Bra,
next
Viljo.
one too. Wants to stop in the white 8-foot circle. Well,
Viljo.
that's a beauty. That's an absolute beauty from Pettersson-Dahl. Spoke about the potential to leave a double takeout. Shouldn't have worried. That is absolutely perfect.
Ina. Pick. Hey.
Well, Sweden are making Canada throw some hard shots here. This one not easy here for Thurston. We saw him miss a wide open takeout in the previous end to give up 2.
Okay.
This one far more difficult than the one he missed previously.
Okay.
Well, makes a run and actually, I think moves that Yellowstone up into shot position. That was a bonus there for Canada. Not exactly as they called it, but doesn't get a bad result at all.
Det tycker jag. Vill du spela out hand? Vilken fart?
Spela 9 där.
Japp.
Well, Sweden would love to just hit this just slightly off the nose and sit in
Precis
front
en
of
bra
that
här.
red stone just in front of Kiki Ölander's feet.
Litar du på
But
isen?
no, nothing too heroic required here. If they could just chip the red stone out and the yellow stone out and just
Bra
leave
snackat där.
the other 2 reds
igen,
intact,
hela
that
vägen.
would be fine.
Bra!
Certainly got Aina Forrest and Dennis Thiessen's attention in the back here.
Sätter den bra.
Kom igen, håll då.
So just looking to hit this on the pro side. Oh, that's
Bra,
absolutely
Viljo.
perfect.
Fin sten.
Tell you what,
Snyggt.
Viljo Pettersson-Dahl has come to play today. That was 2 absolute beauties from the Swedish skipper.
Yeah, this is a straight rock.
Okay.
So nervous moments here for Canada. Already trailing by 3 shots to 1. And don't want to fall further behind. Facing 3 red Swedish stones in the house at the moment.
8.5.
Yeah.
Should run straight.
Well, this is a big shot here in the 4th end, the final stone of the first half. And John Thurston needs one of his absolute best to prevent the steal. Well, it doesn't get the shot stone. Difficult to say who's lying in second shot. Is it a steal of 1 or is it a steal of 2? We may well need a measure here.
What's the weight?
I think it's 2.
2.
But yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Mäta.
So I think it was agreed it was a score of 2.
I think we'll measure anyway. Yep.
I think that's a good decision by Mark Harrison. So definitely won that stone
For a second, yes.
in the red 4-foot circle. Definitely the shot stone. It's just about who's lying second. I think it's just that one there, just in front of Mark Harrison, and the one at the 11 o'clock in the house. Not necessarily the one at 2 o'clock in the house. I think that'll be removed. So the umpire will come out with a big metal contraption now. And you can maybe see just in the center of the button by the agitos a little black pin. And that's where the measure will sit. And they'll swing it around the house and use a pressure dial to determine who is closest to the middle.
No, I know. No.
Hold down.
Once.
What's that?
We learned one. Yeah. So number 6 and number 5.
Measure all 3.
Yeah, we're gonna measure those 2. Yeah. That one, 4 can go. Yeah.
So Mark Idison just confirming what ones are not in the mix. We don't want any mess ups. We did have an incident in a previous Canadian game where a bit of an unfortunate situation where in the first end there was a biter, there was a stone potentially just touching the outside of the house, and there was a 6-foot measure called to determine whether it was scoring or not. And a volunteer removed it before it could be measured. So Canada were given the opportunity. Did they want to just accept the score of 1, although they were measuring for 2, or did they want to replay the end? And they chose to replay the end, and they scored 4 the second time. So Canada, with that Yellowstone just being measured at the moment, has John Thurston managed to outcount this red Swedish stone on the other side. Well, that looks like it's red. It's a steal of 2 here. A steal of 2 for Sweden. A perfect first half from the Scandinavians. Really has been superfluous stuff. And the undefeated Canada in trouble here at the halftime break. They're trailing Sweden, the world silver medalists, by 5 shots to 1.
Vad ska du göra?
Jag tar min banan som ligger på lådan där. Det ser jättefint ut.
Excellent stats for Sweden. Look at that. Ronnie Persson, 97%. That is incredible. Such a great first half from Sweden.
Fortsätter med det. Jajamän, nej, men jag kan hämta.
Jag fixar det.
Ja, det ligger riktigt bra i nu tycker jag. Det är så härligt.
Men,
ja.
som William var inne på här nu. Nu går vi in i 5:e omgången. Då blir det 5:e omgångsfokus.
Mark Idison having a great game. He had a great game earlier on day 3 as well. against the United States. Playing 91%, super stuff from the Canadian lead.
Get over to that
the rest of his team not quite matching up to those standards so far.
What do you think? It changed yet?
Are you seeing? What are you
I don't
seeing?
know. Feels hard though off the
Down
the outside.
Yeah.
This side's super straight.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not seeing much. I think it's more.
Well, it's those stolen ends that are really Canada's undoing so far. 3 points across 2 ends. Missing the first end, a particularly bad one for the Canadian fourth thrower, John Thurston.
Kom igen nu, nu kör vi. Kom igen nu. Fortsätt det fina jobbet nu.
Alison Krevizuk there in the middle, Canadian, alongside Peter Narup, the national coach. Peter Narup, 3-time world champion with the legendary Pale Lindholm team in the late 90s, early 2000s. Back-to-back scores of 2 for Sweden in the third and fourth ends. See those overhead screens showing the heads. Excellent viewing here in the National Aquatic Centre.
Fortsätt fina spelet. Vi läser isarna väldigt mycket bättre än dem just nu. Och fortsätta hålla högt fokus.
Kom igen.
Kom igen nu.
Ja, lugn och fin. 13. 13 vill han ha.
13 tycker jag han kan få.
Ut på kast.
Kom igen.
Bra! Bra.
So underway in the fifth end here, Kristina Ulander. Sweden off to a flyer here and 5-1 up at the halftime break.
Den är lite hård.
But maybe just for Canada,
Bra, Kiki.
the halftime break coming at the right time, a chance to convene with the coaching staff and reset for the second half when the game really was starting to run away from them.
Like 15, eh, with this guy?
Like it.
So Idison, 83% for the tournament. Brilliant play by the Canadian lead. Also a top player, Mark Idison. He threw the last stones actually in 2018 at the Paralympics.
15.
Moving down to lead position when that position was vacated by Marie Wright.
I'm taking your stick.
And
15.
John Thurston coming in to throw last stones in the team.
Excuse me.
Men är det tajt på denna sidan tycker du?
Nej,
Nej.
det ska gå bra.
You do expect to see the lead players' stones stats even to be a little higher than the rest of the team. Slightly more straightforward shots with less stones in play.
Bra!
But they are so important.
Känns
When the
bra.
lead isn't playing well, your team's on the back foot right from the start of the end, and the rest of the team to play more difficult shots to try and recover.
14. Härligt, Kiki.
So 8 ends to be played in this 11-team round robin.
Aina, this is the 5 rock, straight rock.
And so here's a straight stone that they're not happy with, the Canadians. Quite often any stones that are slightly different to the rest are passed down to the lead to play. With it being a little bit straighter, it may well run a little bit further than his other one as well. It's just down to the granite being a natural material. Near impossible to make them all exactly the same. Well, for a straight stone, that's curled really nicely in behind that corner guard. Excellent shot there by Mark Idison, continuing his great form.
Får du hoppa lite?
Ja då, gör det. 15!
Kom igen. Hela vägen. Lugn och fin.
Bra! Bra.
Well, that one just hung out a little bit. I was always going to be a tough ask to get around there on that
You
handle.
want to hang this around here. Just a 10.
Not too much damage done though, but Canada choosing to try and clean up the center line now. Maybe play a takeout on at the front of the house. Dennis Thiessen, 69%.
The other way works too.
Well, that's a lovely shot. Hits and rolls into the rings and opens up that stone at the back of the red 4-foot circle. So nice hand developing so far from Canada. They look refocused and motivated to try and reduce this 4-shot deficit that they face at the moment.
15. Bra!
Since that score of 2 in the third end, this game's really come to life. Lots more stones in play. The Canadians playing more aggressively. But at the moment, Sweden are the team with all the answers.
14-4.
Jättefint
Bra, Moe!
Bra Moe!
Nice guard there from the Swedish second.
I like that weight. What was it?
Perfectly in front of that stone. That short stone. Just south of the agitos in the center of the button.
Got it, Dennis. 7.5. Knock it very low.
Oh, I was way in.
He's not happy with that. You could see on his face the despair as he let it go. As it passed the guard. Well. Just enough speed to raise it. Not quite through the house, but far enough to make it 4th shot position. And they've got a couple of good ones over there on the right-hand side. And they've opened up the center again.
15.
Could have been worse there for Canada, that's for sure.
Yep.
The first mistake they've made in this 5th end.
Ute. Bra.
Yep.
Candice, okay.
Ja, då.
Another guard. This is always a good sign
Ligger bra
for a
där,
team
Ronny. Bra.
16-3.
when they're playing well, they're getting set up well, and your team's just throwing lots of guards and the opposition having to peel them, then you know things are going well. You know that you're getting set up well.
Should I use my other rock?
Or we go the other way.
Yeah, peel the other way.
You want to use a straighter up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's use the other rock.
Use that.
So again, Canada just going to open up the center here.
Yeah, we're gonna throw it first.
Just a reminder of the rules if you're new to curling. Both teams have just 8 stones in every end. There are 8 ends, 8 stones in each one for each team, 16 stones in total. They throw alternately with each other
Which rock
until
is
all
this?
16 stones have been thrown.
Minus.
We're right in the middle of the end at the moment. Once they've all been thrown, then they'll decide who's closest to the middle. You need to be in the house first and foremost. The ring's at the other end of the ice. who's closest to the middle, how many are closer than your opposition's nearest one. 1 point for each stone, nothing more.
Shot.
So as things currently stand, although there are 4 stones in a scoring position touching the house, Sweden would score 1 if there wasn't any more stones played in the end. Canada have got second and third shot there at the moment, but they're being out-counted by that red Swedish stone. Ronnie Persson, not for the first time in this event, playing like the most valuable player, the MVP.
Ja. Ute lite. Bra.
Känns okej?
Ja.
Möjligen något ute.
Ja, lite längre ut än förra, men
So just looking for this somewhere kind of around the center line, maybe halfway up the free guard zone, this white area up here. Needs to get over the hog line, though. Oh my, what a misjudgment there by the Swedish third. That's Ulla Engborg in the background, can hardly believe it, the way Ronnie Persson's been playing. We've seen him make some tremendous shots, much more difficult shots than that one. And that's the break, maybe,
actually
that
just
Canada
a 9.
need.
Just a 9.
9?
They finally got a reprieve and a let-up from Ronnie Persson.
Finished pretty good.
Okay.
I know it was only 10.
Okay, 8.5.
Yeah. 8.5.
So it's Aina Forrest, the Canadian curling legend. The chance to play a takeout here to lie 3. This could be pivotal moments in this game.
Okay.
Oh, looking pretty good. Oh, right up the middle. Makes the takeout, sticks around. And how different do things look now after those last 2 stones? Perfectly plays, rolls under cover as well. So now, Filio Pettersson-Dahl needing to pull one out of the fire, needing a super draw to come down and freeze on that Yellowstone, just thrown by Forrest.
Är vi 13 eller?
Ja, jag tror runt det.
Ja, ingen långsammare. Nej. Jag upplever att jag trögar på. 13 borde bli bra.
Ligger lite ute. Bra.
78% for the Swedish skipper so far in this game. It's a little bit like a bit of a nervy one there. Very quick to withdraw the delivery stick, but it's looking pretty good. Needs to curl now. Needs to curl now. Oh, what a shot. Super shot by Pettersson-Dahl. Down into shot position.
Lite vid linjen.
And the question will be, how much of that stone can Canada see from the hack?
Same as Aina. What was
Oh,
Aina?
it's wide open.
What was Aina?
Lots of space here for Canada
8.5.
to get past those guards and make the takeout.
You thought this rock just had a nice finish to it?
Yeah,
or?
yeah.
Okay.
So maybe this was one of Mark Ideson's stones before, and they thought John Thurston had a bit of a straight stone. Maybe just a bit of a switch at half-time. Only playing 41% here, John Thurston. It's not been good with the takeout so far. No problem this time, though. Look at that.
Nice shot.
Great shot there by John Thurston. And important to stick around near the center line, too. It would have been easy to play it safe and hit and roll across to the wing. But in doing so, he's blocked the freeze.
Kom igen.
It's going to be a takeout this time here for Pettersson-Dahl.
Ja, nästa, kom över.
Bra. Där eller?
Ja.
So Pettersson Dahl trying to remove those two yellow stones on the center line.
Jajamän, det blir bra.
Kom igen.
Kom igen.
Hela vägen.
Ja.
Sträck ut.
Kom igen.
Ligger ute. Bra.
Well, this is a huge stone. Pettersson Dahl going for the double takeout. Hit and roll underneath wouldn't be a bad result either. Well, that's a great shot there by Pettersson Dahl. Doesn't make the double, but maybe does enough to really limit the damage here for Sweden. It was looking really sketchy there.
You pick that?
By that facial expression from John Thurston,
I think
maybe
you
not
can.
much of it
You're
showing.
seeing it. It's under the draw.
What weight?
I'm thinking 8.5.
Okay. Like there?
Yeah.
So they're going for it here. This is a big call, big shot here. John Thurston being asked to try and
just curled up a bit. So
pick that red stone out,
I'm
play a takeout.
I'm gonna throw it positive.
Yeah, it's gonna finish.
They're going to play the takeout on that red stone, trying to steer it between the two yellows and score 3, maybe 4. Could just draw for 2.
It just went.
Well, he's not happy with this at all, John Thurston. Oh, he's just feathered the guard. That was so close to being perfect. And that is a really crucial exchange there. Those last 2 stones, it could have been 4 or 5 for Canada. Instead, it's only 1. Great shot with Viljo Pettersson Dahl's last stone to hit and roll under cover and force the mistake. 5-2 in Sweden's favour. So Canada running out of time here. Trailing an extremely hot Swedish team, bouncing back from a loss and really playing well here, leading the undefeated Canadians by 5 shots to 2. Canada have looked head and shoulders above the rest so far in the event, but being brought back down to earth so far here on day 3.
Nice weight.
Well, one thing's for sure, that Canada are going to have to take some risk now. They're going to try and get as many stones in play as possible. It's quite typical when you're chasing the game. They're going to see lots of draws and guards from Canada, and you'd expect to see lots of takeouts from Sweden, although they won't be able to with this one. There's a rule in effect called the free guard zone for the first 5 stones at the end, where if there's a stone out in front of the house in a non-scoring position, it can't be removed from play, or the stone will be replaced and the thrown stone will be removed itself. So Ylander drawing the wing. And is that in? Is it out? Who knows?
So probably 6
Don't think Canada will be too concerned about that one.
A little straighter.
They want to get some stones in the middle of the sheet of ice. There's that GTX head on the handle, the attachment there. Connects to the stone. It's the delivery stick's an extension of the player's arm.
I think it's out, but yeah, no. You kind of go, it'd definitely be worth measuring.
A bit of a mistake there from Mark Idison.
Yep.
So at least puts up a guard. Be something else for Sweden to deal with shortly.
Är det tajt eller?
Ja.
Det är tajt.
Det är bättre att dra där.
Gör det! 13!
13.
Bra!
Kiki Olander going to the other side this time. Can be a little bit
Vad
problematic.
klockan är det?
Well, actually, it comes up
14
shy of the house.
Okej, ja det är 14 Bra.
Can be a little bit difficult when you start throwing
Kate's fine, Dennis.
your
Like 13?
lead stones to both
Yeah,
sides of the
13,
sheet. Can
13
make it a
and
little
quarter.
bit more difficult to peel the guards. By peel, I mean split them off.
John's drawing the button here.
Just means something else to navigate on the wings. We'll see if they come into play later on. Here's Dennis Thiessen with the draw. Coming down the left-hand side with the anti-clockwise rotation. Start to move back towards the right, back towards the middle of the sheet.
It's good, Dennis. Shot.
Well, how good is this from Dennis Thiessen? Right down to the top of the button. Beautiful draw there by the Canadian second. So that especially forces Sweden to start peeling the guards, and see Vilja Pettersson looking around at where those red stones are. That's what I mean. That's what I meant before when I was talking about some of the complexity that comes with having those stones on both sides of the sheet of the ice.
Man får nog hoppa ett steg då.
Bra!
Ronnie just getting his brakes on so that he can stabilize Mua's chair.
Ja då.
Throws a hard stone. There we go, off the wide stone and into the house. That was always the danger for Sweden. Canada now lying two.
Again. Fine.
Still gets rid of one of those guards though. Now Canada, definitely interested. Dennis Thiessen played a potential end winner in there with his first one. If he could ever make a second one down there pretty close to it, then maybe a steal very much on the cards for Canada. Needs to make sure he passes the guard here. Needs to make sure he gets by it. Oh, what a line. What a line. Oh, great shot here by Dennis Thiessen. So Canada line three. Canada starting to turn the screw a little bit here. Better late than never here from Canada.
Ja, jajamän. Ja då.
Kom igen. Fokus nu på riktning.
Det är din.
Sträck ut hela vägen.
Ute. Bra.
So Vilja Pettersson confirming Borg that he's lined up correctly.
Intressant.
Ja då, det gör det.
Well, makes the peel and somehow manages to steer it between those yellow stones. Can you believe it? How unlucky is that for the Swedes? You would have thought he had to catch one of those ones, either on the center or on the wing.
What's this rock going to do here, eh? This is our earlier one.
So it's going to be a guard here for Canada.
Okay.
Interesting end developing.
Yeah.
14 Yeah, I think 14 14
Christina Ulander in the background there, giving everyone a hug. You see that a lot. She really is the glue in this team, holding them all together. Aina Forrest looking for the guard here after two super draws by Dennis Thiessen. Maybe drifted a little bit further than the Canadians would have liked. So a good chance for a double takeout now for Sweden.
Ska vi diskutera den eller?
Very tense moments in this match. This huge match between two titans of the wheelchair curling world.
Dra en 8 där!
Okay. 8 där. Jag gillar den.
Vi måste upp det. Kom igen.
Ja.
You know, this is just where you want your third player to be good at throwing the hard takeouts extremely accurately.
Den funkar bara cleara den. Den funkar att toucha isär också.
Ja.
Okej.
8, det är din.
Couldn't think of too many people who'd rather throw this stone than Ronnie Persson. Big deep breath.
Bra.
Behind it. So how many has he managed to remove? Oh, has he got caught in the back one as well? Did that leave the house? Difficult to say. So Canada lying 3, maybe 4.
Yeah, it's about a broom left.
Another guard here for Canada. They're playing a great end, all set up by those two fabulous draws by Dennis Thiessen. Canada backs against the wall here. Trailing by 3 without the last stone advantage as well. And Aina Forrest just trying to drop this guard a little bit shorter than her first one. Good separation, excellent line, directly covering that stone on the button.
Jag menar taget dit! Marginal där uppe!
Det är bra.
Här eller? Bra.
Räcker det där?
Vi kan öka dit kanske.
Ja, det tror jag där.
Ja, bra.
Well, this is an important one here for Ronnie Persson. He certainly doesn't want to fly past everything here. Going after the stone on the button, trying to play a takeout with the guard being a little bit longer here. Maybe there's a little bit of time just to get some extra curl and round in behind it to make the takeout. You really can't miss on the wide side here. Even if you pick the guard, that would be okay.
Bra.
Open it up for next time.
Lite tight.
Ja, jag märkte det. Jag håller med.
Riv den där nu och vicka.
So is it past the guard? No, it's not, but it at least peels it. Again, there's the white stone, just sneaks by it.
Yeah.
So that was a missed shot from Ronnie Persson, but he missed it on the correct side there.
14 and a half.
It was a good professional miss there from the Swedish third.
Yeah.
so much respect between these two teams. They know each other so well, having done battle on numerous occasions over the last 5 years. Christina Olander and Ina Forrest going way back. This looks like another good stone here from the Canadians. Well, that's pretty much perfect there from Thurston. Much better from the Canadian fourth player.
Time out.
Time.
Tycker ni?
Okay.
So timeout called here by Sweden. You can see Peter Narup make his way down to the ice. Three-time world champion.
Vad sa du?
Gå runt, du måste gå äckligt tajt.
Ja, precis. Äckligt tajt på båda sidorna. Liksom. Eller så... Ja.
Vad känner du för?
Jag vet inte. Innan var ju garden mycket högre och lite mer. Nu är den ju helstängd med kort gard.
Du når den fortfarande med en T-tag.
Ja, vi måste gå väldigt tajt.
Alltså går du en centimeter ifrån den så har du ju träffar och ligger kvar.
Ja.
Men det är ju inte den marginalen. Den är riktigt.
Jag menar om du slår i här, då öppnar du upp igen.
Ja.
Och öppnar för en ny chans. I så fall.
Vad tror du här?
Ja, spela från det här hållet. Vad är ni sugen på för fart?
Det pratar vi.
En Tage går på skotten och...
Ja, försöka få den.
Ja.
Det går ju att spela 11 eller något, men det är ju riskigt alltså, för tuggar du där och styr in den där. Ja. Tage känns det.
Ja, frågan är ju om du vill ha kvar den så behöver du ha en Tage.
Ja. Ja, absolut.
Så att det blir, tycker jag blir bra.
Ja,
Ja,
vi kör
då kör vi det.
Bra.
Det är bra.
Well, I don't speak Swedish, but I think they have to peel the guard here. Or certainly play a takeout up the center line. Pretty easy for Sweden to draw one in to get second shot with their last one as things stand, which will be a comfort for them.
Jag ska kolla med utflytt.
Ja.
So again, needing to open up the center here.
Jag gör fan ingen skillnad nästan.
Give themselves a chance to score in the end. Force Canada to play the guard again.
Spelar du utflytt?
Ja, jag tror det.
Hur känns isen här då?
Ja.
Vill du ha mindre eller mer?
Ta lite mer då.
Ja, inte mindre.
Där.
Kom igen, den har du. Hela vägen.
Tage.
Ja.
Lite inne. Ute. Bra.
So fully focused on the target here. Not playing too much weight, maybe trying to come around and move the one in the button. Looking a fraction wide, can't afford to be wide here, Sweden. Needs to open up the center line.
Niklas 9, farten är bra.
Well, strange shot there from Sweden. Not really anywhere near the center guard. Does get one of them out of there, but leaves the center guard on. And now Canada with a super chance to steal one, maybe two or more.
Cover ball.
I would top at 12 or 8 foot on the other side.
Like right here.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
The Swedes were trying to come around and move that one in the bottom, but that guard's so tight, so perfectly in line. It really was a bold decision.
75? Yeah, 13 and a half,
It was a
13.75.
tough shot, especially without any sweepers.
Little bit wider than Ina's draw to the button.
Okay, this one should curl a bit too. This is by 2.
But as things stand, Canada still with some work to do to steal more than one, and they certainly don't want to set up an easier shot for Sweden to score. So trying to draw one into the front of the house on the right-hand side here. Try and block the draw in for Sweden. Doesn't quite get as far down as he like, but it still finishes in a useful position. I'll have a little bit of nuisance value.
Jag menar hänga kvar och släppa ett är okej.
Ja, visst.
Känns det?
Lite till.
So a bit of damage limitation here for Sweden. Trying to play a takeout on that Yellowstone level with Kiki Olander's brush to stick around till I second shot. And the way this end's gone, Sweden would do well to get away with only giving away 1 point.
Inne. Lite ute. Bra.
Oh, final stone of the 6th end, and I don't think there's been a more important one in this game. Helio Pettersson-Dahl, quite a bit of weight coming down here, but he's got a nice line. Oh, that's a great shot. A really great shot to salvage that end for Sweden. They give away a steal of 1, but it could have been a lot more. Cool as a cucumber, Helio Pettersson-Dahl. So just 2 ends to come here, and Sweden leading by 2 shots, and they have the last stone.
All right.
Canada starting to rise, 71%. Interesting, because they've been playing probably more difficult shots than they did early in the game, but seem to have their eye in now. Going 5-1 down really focused them, and they've put a couple of good ends to start the second half.
15. I think it was like a 3.5, 4.
Just 2 ends to come. And it's been a fantastic game. Such a high standard here on show. Mark Idison getting a nice rotation on and dropping that one down onto the center line. Tactic that worked well for them in the last end.
Hög Tage då.
Tage?
Nej, hög Tage.
Ja, typ 11.
Ja, Tage 5-11.
Ja, bra. Vad tror vi där eller?
Ja, jag tror det blir bra.
Ja.
Okej.
Ja, kom igen.
Oj, vill vrida den.
Obviously, this is the mixed wheelchair curling event. There isn't another type of wheelchair curling event.
Bra, tack.
But there are some rules around the gender requirements within the teams. Both teams must have 1 male and 1 female, and then there's 3 gender-free positions. I think ideally, if you're setting up a team or selecting a team, then you would want at least 2 of each gender. Quite a lot of these teams only have 1 female, and there's only 1 female skip in the field. And she is the Latvian skip, Polina Roskova. Was this a free guard zone violation? That touches the bumper. That just touched the bumper, so that's going to go back. It's a free guard zone violation, so that's stone out there in that white free guard zone.
Okay, so you
Not allowed to be removed until the 6th played stone of the end. So the Swedish stone's removed. Good effort at a tick shot though. You can move it around, and that's what Sweden were trying to do there, just trying to move it off to the side. One of the first tick shots that we've seen so far in the event.
14.5 for this one, eh? A little quicker.
Yeah, so the makeup of the teams.
Yeah, I like it.
1 male, 1 female, 3 gender-free positions. In terms of classification, it's not quite as rigorous or complex as it is in some of the other events. The general rule of thumb is that you need to use a wheelchair for the activities of daily living to be considered. So you can't just go about your daily business walking around and decide you're going to the Paralympics one day and get yourself a wheelchair and start playing with the delivery stick.
Ja, men den ligger linad dit också.
Okej, då drar vi så. Ja. 13.
Kom igen, den har du.
Även om du bansar i det där, det gör inte så mycket. 13!
Vad sa han?
So
13.
going back to drawing the wing,
Ja.
I think, here with Kiki Olander. Can be a useful shot to play if you can get one out on the wing. A little bit of extra insurance on the wing, but you don't want really to get in that position like they did in the last end, where you've got stones on both sides of the sheet. That can just be a bit of a nuisance. So looking for this one to finish round about the tee line. Just starting to curl away from the house.
Farten är perfekt, lite tight bara.
Doesn't manage to get into the house, but not really that important, that stone.
14.5. 14.
Canada won't be too happy about those guards being so close together. Dennis Thiessen, 2 great draws in the previous end, will be looking for something closer to the house, if not just in the front ring. But they know, given they're so close together, it should be an easy double takeout for Sweden.
Great weight, Dennis.
Quite get as much curl as they would like. Would like that one over onto the center line. And now Sweden will be able to play the double peel. Trying to get rid of both these yellow stones and spin the thrown stone away off to the side or out of play, ideally.
Stryk ut, det är din.
Inne. Bra.
Vänta lite.
Bra där. Bra.
Inne. Bra.
Jag tar den.
Oh, bit of a false start there. So the stone just slipped a little just as he was about to press go. So does the right thing, resets, starts again. Plenty time in the clock there. You see Sweden 7 minutes and 54 seconds remaining to play the remainder of their stones. Oh, but I wonder if that slippage just unsettled them a little bit. A huge miss there by the Swedes, and perhaps just getting closer to the finish line, and some nerves starting to creep in here for Sweden. A few mistakes.
13.25.
What Canada would do for another one of those draws from Dennis Thiessen like we saw in the previous end. Canada just chipping away at the Swedish lead quite nicely at the moment. That was a good draw. Excellent line. Maybe just runs a meter further than they would have liked, but still in a useful position. Sweden will try to open things up again. So chance to make amends here for Mats Ulla Engborg. Well, and that's exactly what he was wanting to do the first time. Perfect shot by the Swedish second. So now we'll probably see Canada go back to throwing the guard.
Half under, that one's all right.
Okay.
Even here. Actually, halfway. Halfway to tight.
Okay.
14. 14?
14,
Yeah.
I think. I like it.
Yeah, 14.
Like tight.
Yeah, tight one is okay.
Some really good tactics on show in this game as well. Really high standard of tactical awareness from both of these teams. Really easy to see why they're some of the best teams in the world and considered medal contenders.
Oh, sorry.
Really nice line on it.
Great shot here from Ina Forrest. Touching the center line.
Ja.
Varför inte?
Och
Vad
tugga
tycker du om att
efter.
spela Niklas?
Ja.
Rycker du den är det bra?
Ja.
Du behöver inte ha utflytt, Ronny.
Ingen utflytt, nej.
Jag menar
Looks like
viktig.
Sweden going after this stone at the
Niklas!
back at the shot stone in the house here. A little bit surprised about this. Thought they might have peeled the guard here.
Marginalgas.
By playing this stone at the back of the house, then they're giving Canada a chance to get a better win in there, and maybe giving Canada a greater chance to steal.
Sträck ut. Rast och fart.
A score of 1 in this 7th end would be ideal for Sweden.
Hoppa lite. Ja, bra.
Kom igen nu.
Bra.
So Ronnie Persson with that lovely smooth delivery. Playing the takeout, makes the peel.
8-5. Bra, Ronny.
Good shot there by Ronnie Persson. Opens things up a bit. Makes the double on these two yellows. And nearly just pokes that side red into the house. That would have been handy.
This rock's a little straighter.
So it'll be more of the same here from Canada. Another centre guard to go on here with Ina Forrest. Looking for pretty much a carbon copy of her first one.
Sweepers are on it.
Well, the sweepers are on it. I think that indicates maybe it's a little bit tight for line. So that one over curls, and I think we'll see Sweden play the takeout on this stone at the back of the house now.
Det är så långt bak.
Ideally, they'll want to kind of stick around pretty close to the red 4-foot circle. Person really trying to manage the nerves here in this crucial game here against a big rival.
Lite tight. Ja, lite tight, men jag tror den blir
Like he
fin.
just kind of pulled that one a little bit, held on to the stick a little bit, but well, he's got to be pretty happy with that. Makes the hit and stay. So Sweden lying in shot position, but not out of the woods yet here.
12-4, so
Canada can make the
I like
freeze here.
12-6.
Okay.
If they were able to do that, they're really making the scoring area very small for Sweden.
12-75.
Okay.
Pettersson Dahl having a super game. And a crucial stone at the end of the previous end. John Thurston. Trying to make the freeze, trying to get this one down right onto that Swedish stone. And the speed's looking good. Has he got enough curl? Maybe just a little bit too much weight in the end. It didn't curl up enough. So, Sweden, for the first time in this end, really, with the upper hand. Just a very marginal mistake there by John Thurston. Just threw it a metre too far. A little bit less speed, and it was curled up nicely onto the face of that red stone. Maybe after that one, the Swede's looking a little bit more relaxed. Shoulders dropping away from the ears a little.
Vi tänker kort är bättre än lång, eller hur?
Ja.
Bra. 13-13-5 då. Kom igen nu.
Lite ute. Bra.
Okay, it's very close to the hog line with that delivery stick. Don't think I've ever seen a shot wheelchair curling hogged before. This first for everything. It's not going to be this one. Looking a little bit pacey again here from the Swede. Comes down and makes a freeze on this stone at the back, but Canada will have a second opportunity to try and make the freeze on that shot stone.
I had 12-7 on that.
Okay.
Still a little bit overthrown there by Petter Sundal.
Okay. So you're drawing the button.
There's a couple of guards out front as well. It doesn't need to be all the way down frozen. If they could ever tuck it in pretty much in line with that yellow stone on the tee line, then Canada would be in excellent shape to try and steal. Well, this is a must-make here for John Thurston. Needs to be lying shot after this one. Just needed a minor adjustment to the first one. And it looks like he's got a great line. Is it going to travel far enough, though? Well, that's unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Just needed to go another 70 centimeters or so. And then this would be a difficult shot to score here for Sweden. And now, a draw for two. Anywhere touching that red 4-foot circle would put two on the board. Sweden won't want to go anywhere near that yellow stone. The last thing they want to do is to raise it up. They've already got one in the bank. This could be pretty much a match decider for Sweden. This would be a famous victory over Canada if they could see this one through. Starting to curl now and getting a little close to that one on the center line.
Well,
it was a good weight. It was a good weight. Maybe just needed to throw it a little bit wider on the sheet. And it's a score of 1 here for Sweden. Canada still alive here in this game, but hanging by a thread after 7 ends. They're trailing Sweden by 3 shots. It's 6 shots to 3. Don't go anywhere, just 1 end to come. Pretty even Stevens now in the stats, but one thing's absolutely for sure here. This has been an incredible advert for wheelchair curling. Curling of the highest standard from 2 unbelievable teams. Sweden played so well in the first half. They're well worth their 3-shot advantage coming into this last end, but Canada showing some real mettle in the last few ends, trying to recover the deficit, trying to hold on to their undefeated record.
tjänar vi lite tid.
8th end underway, the 8th and final end. And Sweden just choosing to throw away their first stone at the end. Again, that's entirely deliberate. Sweden want as few stones in play as possible here in the 8th end. Every single stone in play can be something that can be used by the Canadians to try and generate the score of 3 that they need. A score of 3 not out of the question here for Mark Idison and his band. Can just take 1 or 2 misses, and before you know it, there's a few Canadian stones building up around the house. So the corner guard goes up. That guard off to the side, as we've seen throughout for the teams with the last stone, playing out to the side. Kiki Olander not interested in getting involved and just throwing that one away as well. I don't think this game's quite dead yet. This is going to be a thrilling climax to see how Canada can try and develop this end to try and get a score of 3 on the board to extend the game. If it does finish 6 apiece, then we will go to 1 extra end to try and determine a winner. We need to have a winner in this round-robin match. There are no draws. Some more exemplary setup play by Mark Idison.
Shot, Mark.
High stat on the sheet in 93%. Put that with his 90-odd% game, 90+% game, I should say, earlier on today in day 3. So that's the end of the free guard zone, which we saw Christina Olander violate in the 7th end. All those stones thrown away, so now they can start playing some takeouts when they come back to play.
Like
Dennis
another
Thiessen
tight corner's fine.
going to try and get a 3rd stone in, playing
13 and a quarter. Yeah, I like it. It's tight ice, but we want to get buried here.
So Dennis Thiessen setting up for the anti-clockwise draw. Trying to get one around one of the corner guards. You can play a tight guard or even going into the house with this one.
Well, something.
Well, they think it's heavy. Needs to stay in play here. Needs to stay in play. Oh my. Oh my, Dennis. That's very out of character for the Canadian second player. He'll be absolutely kicking himself for that one.
Kom igen, sträck ut den.
Now, will that be punished by Matsula Engborg? They're going to start playing some takeouts on these guards.
Fokus på en. Bonus på 2.
Ja.
Kom igen. Hela vägen.
Bra! Kändes bra, Moe!
Excellent shot by Engborg. We saw him miss one in the previous end, but no mistake with that one.
$14 and a half, 15.
So just going to replace that one now, Dennis Thiessen. Okay, Canada not going into the house just yet. They're going to try and force some mistakes out in front of the house, and then they'll start throwing into the rings, with the idea being that they go as late as possible into the house to try and lie 3. and in doing so give Sweden less time to tidy things up. Or less stones to tidy things up anyway. Much better shot that time by Thiessen.
Bra! Kändes lite ut.
Ja.
Not sure I like that one. Oh, he's just chipped it. Oh dear, he's got pretty much the worst possible result. He's chipped it and almost behind the corner guard. So
Time out.
They're not moving.
now this will get Canada's interest up. The timeout called.
Well, trap time's in now.
Only person looking a little bit hot under the collar there.
Ja, det tycker jag också.
There will be moments here at the end of this round robin match on day 3.
So, just wondering if we throw another corner.
They're going to hit that, no?
I think we got to come around these two. Even if you rub it and roll, you need one buried at the end of the shot, right? Okay. So I think that's the call is trying to come underneath it, and if you take it on the way by, and roll deep, that's fine. So like, the target's probably T-line.
Okay.
Even if we're a little deep of that, like anywhere back house is really good, but we need to get one buried in the shot.
So Broom like middle of 4.
I think so. So out turn, your curly rack or your straight rack?
I can be either one.
Either one.
Probably your curly now, I think. You got 20 seconds still, so
yeah, we got lots of time. So we're talking 12 and a half, 12.75. What's T-line this way?
12.75.
Oh, it's 13?
I think
like
13.
yeah.
I think 13.
You're trying to draw around, right?
Yeah, 12.75 to 13. I like that window. 12.75 to 13.
So that's the end of the 1 minute timeout. Mick Lismore. Big third stones for Brendan Botcher. Famous Canadian curler for some years. And I think it's been a good decision here. Some good advice from the young coach. Ina Forrest been asked to throw the draw right around both of these yellow stones into the house. Gives them a chance to lie to. And like some of the other coaches, like Chris Bowden, the Canadian coach for Estonia, giving his team options. He knows that they're not quite as accurate with the delivery sticks. So even if they're just a little bit tight here and they kind of flick off the yellow, that also good. But they want to make sure they're lying to here. That's the key thing. Needs to stop in the house. So Ina Forrest going to use all of the house here. Needs to rear up in time. Very good.
Very nice.
Nice shot there from Ina Forrest.
Japp, kom igen.
8 eller 9?
Ta 8 då.
Va?
8.
Okej.
So Ronnie Persson needing to get control of his nerves here.
Bra.
Execute the shot that's been called, and that's a takeout at the front of the house here. That looked like a better throw from the Swedish third.
Kom till pappa då.
Sneaks past the first one. Oh dear. Great throw there by Ronnie Persson, but somewhat unlucky to leave a guard and stuff it onto one in the house, and now Canada can draw around to lie 2. The score of 3 very much alive for Canada.
I had 12-2 on our first one.
So unlucky for the Swedish third.
Okay. So what do you think then?
Same weight? Almost? Straight or wrong?
Well, I was thinking 12.75 because I had
2 feet
12-2.
less.
4 feet less.
So Ina Forrest trying to make the draw here. Trying to come around that stone just thrown by Ronnie Persson. Curling early.
Yeah, same way.
13:05.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
a mistake here by Canada.
Jag tycker vi slår den.
And
Försöker få
Canada
med.
running out of stones now. They needed to get that one in the house, that's for sure.
Leraren är fine. Får vi med
And after
dubbel
this
ner
one,
så bra.
Canada only have 2 more stones to come, and they'll need to make them both score. Pedersen Dahl
Is här.
making the sensible decision,
8.
not getting drawn into going after the stone in the house. They're going to peel the guard and open it up. The hope will be for Sweden that Pedersen Dahl can have a wide open takeout for the game with his last stone.
Bra.
Really textbook technique, that throwing technique of Pedersen Dahl. So smooth.
Bra William. Snyggt.
Well, don't really know what happened there. It sounded like a good shot, even if we didn't get to see it.
Yeah.
Oh, game over. Game over, the handshakes come in. Must have been a double takeout there from Pedersen Dahl. Super play by Sweden throughout. Worthy winners here on day 3 in their matchup against Canada. Here's what happened. Oh, what a shot. What a shot. Worthy of a great game. A great shot to finish it off. And Pedersen Dahl, just super play throughout from the Swedish skip. A famous victory for Sweden here. Canada losing their undefeated tag by virtue of this super performance by the Swedish team, bouncing back after an earlier loss and defeating Canada by 6 shots to 3.
Yeah, always to the end.
I love it. I
Learn from it, man. Better opportunities.
We don't want those rocks.
No, because this screws.
Terrific performance by Pedersen Dahl. Really good stuff. Great bounce back from Sweden.
Yep.
Canada suffering their first loss of this wheelchair curling event in this 11-team round robin.
Jobbat gänget. Jättebra.
Härligt mål, Ronny.
Ja, ja, snyggt. Detsamma William.
Bra.
Still
Riktigt bra.
a long way to go here. Ronnie Persson knows it. It's a marathon, not a sprint. 4 places to be had in the semi-finals. You would expect Sweden and Canada to be there or thereabouts by the time we get to the end of the round robin. Mark Idison had a good game, 94%. Really excellent play by the Canadian veteran. So there we go, the final score confirmed. The result in the round robin between Sweden and Canada, Sweden 6, Canada 3. This is how they all stack up after those results. Canada 4-1 now, and Sweden hot on their heels, 3-1. The hosts and Latvia 3-2 right behind them. Still a long way to go. Everybody will have to play everybody, so that's 10 games in total as we approach the halfway mark in this round robin. Another good turnout here in the Ice Cube for some excellent curling action, and they really were treated to a feast of great shots and great tactics in our featured game between Sweden and Canada. Top drawer stuff, particularly from the Swedes. What an incredible game between two super teams, Sweden and Canada. Surely they're going to be there or thereabouts when it comes to the medals at the end of this wheelchair curling event here at the Beijing 2022 Paralympic Winter Games. Sweden got off to a flying start, getting out to a 5-1 lead at the halftime break. Back-to-back twos in the third and fourth end. Then we saw Canada coming back at them with scores in the fifth and sixth end. And in the end, a super run-back takeout from Sweden skip Viljo Pettersson-Dahl sealed the deal for Sweden and handed Canada their first loss of this round robin. Final score 7-3.